Fish Medication Part 2. This is the second video in a series discussing disease-mitigating medication for reef fish. Chemotherapeutics are potentially deadly with slender medicinal and lethal dose thresholds. Remedies containing copper and formalin are toxic to many reef inhabitants and must never be used in reefs. When utilized incorrectly for fish, they alter gills, leading to asphyxiation and death. For this reason, please only medicate fish once you have completely understood and also read the transcript of each video. The originator author is under much pressure because he is fulfilling final edits and proofs of his impending publication, The Complete Reef Aquarist. It is the most comprehensive all you'll ever need to know resource for maintaining captive reefs, available from summer 2023. Like all Reef Ranch videos, all information has been acquired from decades of practical experience and extensively peer-reviewed research papers. The narrative is reliable, but due to time constraints, the author is unable to provide a list of references that always accompany all his written articles. Neither he nor Reef Ranch Publishing Ltd are responsible for chemotherapeutic misuse or harm caused during disease treatments. Cupric ion and formalin exposure rates and final therapeutic concentrations for reef-specialized fish differ from those maricultured for food, hence much of the information in the public domain is misleading and potentially deadly. Cartilaginous fish of the parvphylum Chondrichthyes, such as sharks, rays, skates, and chimeras, are more sensitive to copper, hence the protocol discussed in this series may prove unsuitable for such fish. In healthy gills, there is merely a single layer of cells and a basement membrane between fish serum and water. This critical diffusion distance ensures toxins and oxygen can freely pass between the blood and the environment. Increases in critical diffusion distances exert profound effects on osmoregulation, gas exchange, and toxin liberation. Gill abnormalities are one of the most common reasons for captive mortalities. Image of healthy fish gill secondary lamellae. An image of abnormal gills, possibly the result of a dosing accident with malachite green and formalin. Emboli and membrane epithelium separation. Use copper formalin-based remedies that are prepared from copper sulfate. Such treatments provide therapeutic cupric ions. Chelated copper and malachite-based remedies are not recommended because their concentration cannot be accurately evaluated. Cupric ions rapidly bind to calciferous substrates including coral sand within pressurized sand filters. Therefore, copper tests and dose administration must be performed twice daily. The procedure described here is the most economical but requires significant investment of time and money. Cutting corners will lead to needless deaths. Be mindful that if you get this wrong, you can lose all fish overnight. If your livestock become infected with a virulent pathogen, they cannot be sold. All fish can die and your reputation will be in tatters. System volume calculations must account for the supply and drainage pipework, the protein skimmer, the sump, and holding aquaria. The supply pump may be turned off to ensure drains empty, but do not overfill glass sumps. Water levels must not rise above 3 inches (7.6 centimeters) below their theoretical maximum. Links for cylindrical and cuboid volume calculations are included in the transcript. If fish are gradually exposed to moderate increases of copper and formalin over hours to days, gills will be unaffected. In commercial export and retail fish-only systems, use a pathogen-suppressing cupric ion concentration of 0.05 mg per liter, but do not attain this concentration in a day. Only Merck cupric ion saltwater test kits are suitably accurate to regulate copper. They cost in the region of £150 for 100 tests. They are analytical test kits that would be used in a laboratory and are super accurate and sensitive. The lowest kit resolution is 0.05 mg per liter, but with practice, assays become routine. The author stresses the importance of accurate therapeutic dose calculations and the evaluation of total system volumes. Analyze bottle concentrations using serial dilutions irrespective of what is published by the manufacturer. This procedure must be rigorous and ultra-precise. Be overly precautious and take your time. The cupric ion target concentration for day 1 is 0.02 mg per liter. The dose is divided into 2, each is diluted in a liter of water, and single squirts from a disposable 2 ml Pasteur pipette are sequentially added to every holding aquarium. Dose administration should take around half an hour. One half dose is added in the morning and the other in the afternoon. Many infective pathogen life phases reside in holding aquaria, but commercial systems should be devoid of substrate. Adding the remedy to aquaria treats the vulnerable infective stages of many pathogens, including marine white spot, cryptocarrion irritans. It enters aquaria at a comparatively high concentration and is diluted by the time biofilter consortia are exposed, because nitrifying microorganisms are also vulnerable but can adjust during steady increases. At the beginning of day 2, the concentration will have subsided to 0.01 mg per liter. The target concentration for the end of day 2 should be 0.04 mg per liter. Test and calculate the dose, then divide into 2, dilute each in a liter of water and add to the holding aquaria as before. The next end of day target is 0.05 mg per liter. By the morning the concentration will be 0.03. Test, calculate the amount required to raise the concentration by 0.02, dilute in a liter of water and add as a single dose to the holding aquaria as before. From day 4, the concentration is tested in the morning and late afternoon, after which doses are administered to maintain the concentration at 0.05 mg per liter of cupric ions. Add each dose over a protracted period to holding aquaria. Whilst maintaining such concentrations in recirculating systems, the aquarist is unlikely to see disease of any kind save gill flukes and eye parasites that are discussed in the Reef Ranch video, Neobenedenia melani, the scourge of the ornamental tropical marine fish industry. That video features a fish acclimation procedure. Use exporters that regulate copper and formalin in their systems, so that newly imported fish are already accustomed to a background concentration. All reputable suppliers and export hubs should control communicable disease in the same way. Explain to your customers that you cannot accept livestock returns and tell them to never mix a supplier's water with theirs. Later in this series we feature the formulation of a DIY cupric ion and formalin remedy, and the mitigation of existing virulent pathogen infections and eradication without losses. For further guidance consult the complete Reef Aquarist available from summer 2023.